Nigeria has one of the advanced payment systems in the world. Like it is
Interesting.
It is
Honestly.
mind blowing. But even as advanced as we are, the payment ecosystem is still broken.
You're welcome to another episode of Ideas on Fire podcast, where your ideas get lit.
Lit up. And with us today is someone very special, right? We have the privilege of having, an esteemed guest who is an expert in product, who is a leader in the fintech industry, who has been truly exceptional with experience spanning over a decade of banking and product development. He has worked with Heritage Bank, he has worked with Paystack that just got acquired for over $200 million. And he has also worked with Patricia, and right now he's also the CEO of two startups, if you can believe that. One is Squareme, which Nairametrics has described as the simplest digital payment solution for young Africans, and also Numero. I don't know if I should say ladies and gentlemen, because it's such an honor to have with us Oluwaseun Odusanya.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
And I like to kick off by asking, we know all this about you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
All this amazing stuff that you do.
The bio.
In
That's
the
the bio
bio.
for the public.
But we always like to ask, tell us one thing that nobody knows about you. Like even your
Inner
baby,
caucus people.
your inner caucus people. You don't know
One
about
thing,
it.
right now, I don't think there's any one thing that people don't know about. I'm beginning to open up. If you had asked me this question probably 12, 18 months ago, I probably would have told you that, I love to cook. People don't know that I love to cook.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm beginning to open up. I started a food blog.
Food blog.
Yes, as
Like,
well.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where it's more like a newsletter kind of thing, where if you subscribe once every month, I send you something. And this probably
Recipes?
Recipes, my own personal recipes
La,
that's
la. Okay.
of me trying out
So continental, like native
that.
recipes.
different things, things I try out, I enjoy, and maybe I've probably gone somewhere and I tasted something really fantastic and I want to replicate it with like simpler, cheaper ingredients and stuff like that. Yeah.
Please tell us how we can join this newsletter.
I have a Instagram page called Batch on the Budget.
Batch on the project.
Batch on the budget.
On a budget.
Batch. So Bachelor on the Budget.
Okay,
I mean,
Batch.
Bachelor on the
Oh,
Budget, yeah.
okay,
So it's called
okay.
Batch on the Budget.
Okay.
And yeah, newsletter is there. So click on subscribe. And once every month, you'll get something from me.
Batch on a
Amazing.
budget.
It's interesting because I know Yoruba men don't like to cook. So
Oh, I love to cook. My father literally trained me. He makes sure I learn how to cook.
Oh,
My father
lovely.
loves to cook.
Shout
too,
out
as
to
well.
your dad.
shout out to that.
Okay.
So this is somebody who is a cook,
Exactly.
but in his spare time, 'cause he's also the CEO of two companies. so I want to dive right in. First of all, your background. Your background is product development. Just give me a sense of your journey, where you started, and how it led you to where you are now.
First things first, I'm a graduate of computer science
Okay.
from Bells University of Technology. Shout out to Bells Tech. Only the best is good for Bells.
Oh,
That's our
okay.
slogan.
Okay, interesting.
So yes, I'm a graduate of Bells University of Technology, computer science. After school, fun fact, I didn't use my degree. My very first job was in the entertainment space.
Welcome home.
Interesting.
Welcome
Please
home.
Tell us a little about that. We want to hear. Because
my
this
very
is from
first
job.
cooking to
No,
entertainment.
funny enough, I was a publicist. Shout out to my very first boss, Ubi Bakari. She took a leap of faith on a completely clueless individual that I think she just saw like, I liked entertainment. Like I used to watch a lot of E-news at that time, and I was like, see, I can do this till I've watched plenty of E-news. I feel like, okay, you look like you can do it.
Typical Nigerian. I can do it. Try
You
me.
look like- exactly. And that's what she did.
Yeah.
That's literally what she did. Because you need to have a bit of. I didn't have any experience whatsoever. I was an introvert. If you want to be a publicist, you cannot be an introvert.
Yeah.
So I was an introvert. Exactly. I was an introvert. I was shy. I could not speak on stage. Like everything that is not a publicist. That's what I was. And she was like, I like your passion. I see something to work with. And I worked with her for a bit. I worked together for, I think, I left school 2011. I worked with her up till 2012.
Okay.
Up to 2012, 2013-ish was when I worked with her. And I was fortunate enough to work with like the biggest lips at that time. Like big lips. You had Links, you had Toke Makiwa, you had Dolakmoli, you had like whoever you could think of, even Tiwa. Like it was a very big deal. It was a very big deal for me because I was literally meeting like Nigerian celebrities that
Correct.
Yes.
I see on TV. So I got that. But one thing I tried to do there was I liked what I was doing.
Okay.
I enjoyed the fact that I was able to help this celebrities tell a story, which is one thing I like about PR. You help them tell a story. So I was able to help them tell a story that's entrapped the listeners and stuff like that. So after I left the BBPR, Tiwa reached out. Yes, Tiwa and TJ, they were still running 3 to 3 at that time.
Okay.
And they reached out and they were like, we like what you did with us. So at the time I left, I think a couple of months after I left, she left the agency too as well. They reached out like, we like what you did when you were working with us in that agency. Come join us in 3 to 3. And I'm like, of course.
Why not?
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
it's
Tiwa and TJ, like really. So I did that. And it was a very fantastic experience.
Wow.
Like it was completely eye-opening. It gave me a different insight into what it means to build a brand, what it also means to put in the work. I tell people today know me as, I'm a Tiwa fanatic. And I tell them, like, it's not hard to be no Tiwa slander around me. End of story. And it's not hard to do it. And the reason for that is, while I was working with her, I had a glimpse into who she was behind the cameras.
Okay.
You know her
I know her personally. So I did that for a bit. Then I got into banking.
Okay.
So
Yes.
as a publicist, because I'm still...
So I got into banking. Funny enough, I didn't get into banking as a publicist. I got into banking.
As a product manager.
Then it wasn't called product management.
Okay.
It wasn't called product management then. We were called business managers.
Okay.
But I was fortunate enough to get into the e-business department of a new bank that just started. The bank was about, it was their first year of operation when we got to the trading school. Heritage Bank 2013. Yes, 2013 was when Heritage started, March. We got into trading school in August. We did trading school from August till December. As intensive period, like it was really good. It was really, really good. Everything I know about banking, everything I know about Fintech, the foundation was laid in Heritage Bank. Wow. Yeah, so I always give them that credit. I wanted to go into treasury department. I didn't go to the treasury department. I had a mentor. In the course of trading school, I made friends with a lady. She was the chief dealer at that time, and she became my mentor. So I wanted to work directly with her. But as fate would have it, I moved into e-business. I got deployed to the e-business unit. And
you loved it.
I fell in love. I fell in love with banking. I fell in love with the idea of electronic banking. Like I felt it was like the future. And Heritage at that time was doing a lot of things that were different. It was just fascinating to see how mobile apps work, how transfers work, how the core banking works, and how ATMs were really, really fascinating. How the machine was that. You realize that, the ATM has like different, you see 1,000 naira, they have to configure the ATMs to be able to dispense 1,000 naira. So you can configure 1,500, 100, and the ATM, because it understands the types of loans, different loans that we have, it doesn't make a mistake. I did that for about 2 years and I stumbled upon Paystack. I stumbled upon Paystack. And Paystack, after a couple of I think it was after a couple of months, Shola reached out to me like, what are you doing? I'm in the country. Let's have lunch. Fortunately, I was on leave. I was on vacation.
Okay.
So I was like, oh yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I'm on leave. I'm at home just chilling. Like, okay, I'll come around. So we sat down, we spoke, and it was like, oh, I like you. I like your drive. And I want you to come join us if you would think that we are worthy. I'm like, small company. Like, yeah, don't worry about money. We've gotten an investment. We've not just announced it. We've raised about $1.3 billion. We have enough money to run for at least 3 years. So if you're worried about money, that it's not a problem. But for me, it wasn't about the money. It was like, okay, what problem are you trying to solve? And Shola did a fantastic job at convincing me about the vision of Paystack. And as the time we were done with this thing, with the launch,
you were convinced.
I was convinced. I tell people, this Paystack bought me with a box of pizza. It's the box of pizza.
Oh, wow.
It was not for lunch. It was a box of pizza that Paystack used to get me. After I left Paystack, so I worked with Paystack for a bit, then I left Paystack, and I decided to, try things on my own. And the reason why I decided to do things on my own was because I'd learned a few things along the line. So with Wumi Bakare at WBPR, I'd learned just be resilient. Wumi was a warrior, but she didn't let that stop her. Like, I know there are days where it's obvious that she's in pain, but like, clients has deadline. We would go to that interview. We would push the work. So I learned that from her, resilience. When I worked with Tiwato as well, humility. No matter what you have, just be humble. Just be humble. Like, humility will take you really, really far. So I learned that from Tiwa. And when I was in Heritage, my boss in Heritage, my direct boss I call him my direct boss, called Toby. So we call him Oga Toby now. But his name is Toby Ladoze. He's the current divisional head of the CSCS. Yes, Central Clearing House for stocks and all of that good stuff, yeah. So he taught me, if you want somebody to do something, you should be able to do that yourself too as well. So an example that I always give to people when people ask me about Toby was, so there was a day we needed to do a pitch. We needed to put a pitch to Wakala.
Okay.
Right? We needed to put a pitch to Wakala. And he was like, oh, she'll work on this pitch. Give it to me. Let me see it. And I was like, oh God, there's no time. Like, the pitch, we need to go to Wakala tomorrow morning. It was a day before. They were like, just do it and give me what you have. And I gave him one shoddy thing, like one very, very shoddy stuff. And I said to him, I was like, okay, no problem. I left the office, came back the next morning, and there was a completely different presentation waiting for me.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this is the presentation you're going to use. Use it, let me know how it goes.
Wow.
My boss stayed back that day and worked on the presentation by himself. He redid the presentation, and he did so to that day. He made me realize that, oh, I needed to put in the work again to get that out.
I think it's just leadership, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think we're missing, it's becoming scarce and scarce. Maybe it's because of the way the country is driving everybody.
A lot of people have jackpot. A
Yeah.
lot of people. When I was in banking, I had the grace or the luck or what you call it to meet the different. So I call them like different layers in the banking space that had knowledge to pass down. They had knowledge to pass down. There's a guy I worked with, Adeyemo Alakija. When it came to understanding cards, he was a beast. Like, you wake Adeyemo in the middle of the night, and he knew everything about cards. But Adeyemo today has
masters in their craft.
See, Heritage for me was a very good foundation when it came to banking and understanding the fintech space. Understanding how the whole ecosystem works. I learned everything.
So are you saying this new wave of Japa is creating holes, like knowledge gaps, if you will?
It is. It's creating knowledge gaps everywhere. Everywhere. So it's not just in banking. Even like normal, what they call it, traditional day-to-day jobs.
Yeah.
Even within the entertainment space,
Yeah.
a lot of the good, like old school entertainers have left the country because they went to look for greener pastures. And those days when Nollywood used to like give, we argued that the storyline then wasn't that great, but nobody complained about the quality of acting.
Yes.
The quality of acting was great.
Yes.
That's why
Absolutely.
those movies are still nostalgic to each and every one of
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
When those same set of actors come back as veterans and act in movies, you see
You still
the
want to watch it.
difference.
You still want to watch it.
Jack Ma, in as much as I understand the reason, but it's also giving rise to people not learning as they should. So right now, people are learning on the job. Right? People are learning on the job, and there's nobody to correct them. I tell you, this thing that you've done is not how it
That
should be done.
leadership.
So everybody's still making the mistakes
it.
that everybody else has made
Yeah.
before.
So
But if you, I mean, you're a CEO of 2 startups now. But if you had the opportunity to jackpot now, right?
yeah.
Would you take it? Like,
No, I won't Japa. I do have the opportunity to Japa, but I'm not. Like, I'm still here. Probably because of the stage I'm in my career. It's easier for me to succeed in Nigeria than it is in another mass country. Because if I go to another mass country, I have to start again. I have, almost 15 years. I left school in 2011. This is 2024.
24.
All those years of experience, literally, I had to put this in my pockets. And eat
Start
the
from
humble
scratch.
pie
Yeah.
and start from scratch if I go to another mass country. But in Nigeria, I know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
I can easily, have conversations, understand the problem
Problems, yes.
from a Nigerian
Yes, I was even
perspective.
going to say the solutions that your companies are giving out, are they not like tailored to Nigeria?
So, I mean, they are tailored to Nigeria and the African market.
Okay,
Because
okay.
the beauty about Africa is the problem one country is facing is the same problem that country is facing.
Okay.
Like, it literally is the same problem.
Okay.
What we think we are different as people, we are not. We are not. Africans are literally, like, we have the same experiences. It's just in different climes.
I mean, piggybacking on that, right? Maybe you tell us what Squareme is, but I'm more interested in why Squareme.
Squareme is so we like to call it a social platform, social payment, peer-to-peer payment platform. That's what we like to call it. And the reason for why Squareme came into the picture was because if you were in Nigeria in 2020, I think it was 2022, 2 years ago, when CBN changed the currency, everybody experienced.
The shock.
We experienced Nigeria at that time where ATMs were not dispensing.
Yeah.
You had to say Hail Mary a number of times before your transfer would go through. Like, you could go for dinner and you could be stuck washing plates because POS wasn't working. It wasn't working. And for us, like, it's something just resonated with us. Like, in as much as we have advanced, Nigeria has one of the advanced payment systems in the world. Like, it is
Interesting.
It is
Honestly.
mind blowing.
Very interesting.
The United Kingdom launched instant payments about 3-4 years ago. Nigeria has had it since God knows when. Like, we actually have one of the most advanced payment system in the world today. But even as advanced as we are, the payment ecosystem is still broken. We have gone far, but I won't say we did rule to the answer, but I won't say we did rule to the answer, but there's a lot of room.
Loopholes.
There's loopholes that we need to fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are things we need to do to ensure that everybody has a seamless experience, and that's why we decided to, to do Squareme. We said everybody has a phone number. We have roughly about 120 million phone numbers. Phone numbers in the country today. We don't have that much people with bank accounts in the country today. We don't have that much people with bank accounts. We don't have that much people with bank accounts.
Like, what's the number like? Maybe
I
I've
think
never heard it.
BVN. So if you look at the BVN, CBN releases the BVN LIBS and CBN releases the BVN statistic. I think BVN is about, I might be wrong, I think it's less than 20 million right now.
Wow.
And that's so. Before you can be banked, you need to have
Such
A BVN,
factor.
you need to have a BVN.
Yes.
So we felt that look, everybody has a phone number. Everybody has a phone number. We're not trying to do mobile money.
Okay.
People convince us with
Okay.
mobile. We're not trying to do mobile money. What we're trying to do is leverage off that phone number infrastructure
Okay.
to make it convenient for people to transact. If somebody wants to send you money today, the person has to call you and say, "Oh, I want to send you 20,000 naira. What bank should I send it to?"
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
Because you have multiple
absolutely.
bank accounts,
Yeah.
and there are some banks that you're like, "No, this bank is
Don't-
misbehaving.
don't-
Exactly.
Don't use this. I don't want to use this bank and stuff like that." So it means the person has to call you every time. If I have to call you every time, why don't I just send your number and let you make that decision yourself?
Oh, so through the number, it gives options of all the other.
So through the number, you as the recipient can now decide, oh, you know what, I want to send to my GT bank, I want to send to my Heritage Bank account, I want to send to my First Bank account.
Also, you just connect it from the beginning.
So as your body, we just ask you for your bank account, that process.
Oh, okay.
And very soon, you would also be able to decide if you want to just get cash from agency banking locations. So that's
Interesting.
That's-
Yes. Now we
it's not
understand
really-
why.
So what is it? It's,
It's
not,
not
really
just
a
another-
fintech. It's not really another fintech.
It's
It's
not-
more like a solution.
it's more of a
So is it more like the solution to the other fintechs? Because that's what it seems like.
in the
Like,
long
it's
run,
something that
we
you
would
could add
end up being this, because we are not looking at it as just a Nigerian problem.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
a Pan-African
yes.
problem.
Yes,
It's a Pan-African
yes,
issue.
yes.
So you're looking at it right now as, Nigerians want to send money to themselves. What about people in the diaspora that don't send money back home?
True. Okay, very
They
true.
don't send money back home. They don't send money to their mother that stays in the village. She doesn't have a
Village.
bank account.
But
Yeah.
she has a
But
phone.
she has a phone.
Yes.
My business partner today has a house in his village, and he doesn't. Every time he needs to pay his security in the village, he has to send it to his security's wife.
Oh,
So he cannot decide that he just wants to gift the guy to do a good job. He just wants to gift him money that take and flex.
Okay.
He cannot
The
decide
wife
that.
would
The
see.
wife will see it.
yes.
That kind of thing. So it's like today the federal government is saying they're giving out money to people, 12 million.
Poverty.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Alleviation,
imagine
stuff.
those 12 million people, the way they'll contact them is because they have phone numbers. So imagine a world where through Squareme, the federal government can
Just
literally
send it
disburse
Yeah.
straight,
to their phone
and
number.
we would like ensure that these people are
Interesting.
so KYC happens,
Okay,
like the
okay.
full process,
Okay.
and these people are brought into the banking, because that's what needs to happen. That's financial inclusion. We need to bring people that are not within the banking ecosystem into the banking ecosystem. So
Okay.
so we are not just another fintech app.
Yeah.
We are a solution.
Okay.
Yes.
Love it.
So I won't.
No,
I
I'm
won't,
fully
I won't-
convinced.
I will shake that table.
Okay, but from what you just said, I was going to ask something about, phone numbers are usually recycled.
Yes.
Yes. So how does that happen? Because if the government now wants to disburse funds,
Yes.
I have abandoned a particular phone number, but I created a Squareme account with that number at the time.
Yes.
Right. So is there like a time period where you check in whether it's still the same person to confirm?
So there is, I would say, it's a time period. We regularly reach out to our customers.
Okay.
We call them and just hear from our customers, because it's the only way we can receive the kind of feedback that we want. Another thing that we do is we monitor our customers,
Okay.
and it's not in a bad way. It's not in a bad way. We monitor them. We monitor their transaction styles.
Okay.
Where they're logging in from, how they're doing their transactions and stuff like that. So if we see an
So ethical
abnormality,
hacking.
it's not ethical hacking. It's understanding who your users are. It's understanding
Okay.
who your users are. There's something we do today in the country that I do not like.
Okay.
Especially a lot of us that run banking, fintech, or financial solutions. We just generalize and send to everybody. So I have bank accounts in probably about 6-7 banks, and if they want to, and I have corporate accounts with maybe like 3 or 4 banks. The banks where I have retail accounts are sending me messages meant for corporates.
Yeah.
I think that they're not just playing, like,
They're not putting the effort.
They're not putting the effort. They're like, oh, we have 10 million users. We have 10 million emails. Let's just blast it. Sometimes I don't need that information because if you were sending it's not tailored to me. If you're sending it to me to my corporate account because I have a corporate account with you, I would understand that. That's great. And that's, they would want to say that, oh, what if the person is a corporate, but he has a business account, at least the person knows. Even like that, it's information overload.
Yeah.
Right. So we are trying to do things a bit different.
So more specialized.
Yes, more specialized to the users.
So that brings me to Numero.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? So what's Numero?
Yeah.
And how do you manage both?
Numero is a business bank. It's my business banking baby.
Okay.
I've worked with quite a number of fintechs or quite a number of startups. Quite a number of startups all my life. And one thing that startups have in common is, actually startups that look like they're going to scale.
Yes.
Is nobody wants to take that risk
with
them. Nobody wants to take that chance. Yes. Nobody wants to give them the access that they need to. Even after the likes of Paystack and Co came into the picture and basically built a solution that allows some of these fintechs to bypass bank. But there's something that the banks can do for you that those kind of fintechs can do for you. That's the reason why we decided to start Numero. But the vision now expanded. Okay. Because so it's not just startups that have that problem.
Okay.
The average business owner also has that same problem. So I run a business today. I'm selling shoes. I probably do a turnover of 5 million per month. So it's 5 million. About 5 million is chicken change, right? So I'm not big enough for the bank to give me an unstructured facility. So I go to a loan shark. Yeah. Loan shark gives me that facility at what?
Ridiculous
rates.
Yeah.
Almost like 70-80% per annum at the end of the day. Yeah. And I get where they're coming from. It's an unstructured loan.
Yes.
Exactly. It's a risk they're taking. Exactly. So high risk, high reward. But not all businesses can afford it. My aunt she used to run a small shop, small like provision store a couple of years ago. And the reason why she shut down was because nobody was willing to bank on her. Nobody was willing to bank on her. So there are few. You also now have so at least she had a corporate account that she was running. You have the set of what business owners that do not even have corporate accounts. They use their personal account to run their business. Those people to also face the same problem. So Numero is designed to solve the problems of businesses. So irrespective of where you fall, you're a startup, you are a small business owner, you are a malam that is pushing carts in my 12 market. That's your business. Yes. We want to be able to bank you. We want to be able to provide you basic business banking access. And the end goal for us at the end of the day is that we want to be able to offer these people credit through institutions like larger institutions like the World Bank and stuff like that, where we can say, you know what, this guy that is pushing carts in my 12 market, he's making 1,000, 2,000 naira every day, right? But he's saving it. He wants to change his cart from wheelbarrow to a bigger cart so that he can make more money. And he saved 50K. He needs 100K. If you give him 100K, he can make, instead of right now saving 1,000, he'll be able to save 3,000, he'll be able to save 4,000. And from there you can take back your payments. So that's how we are looking at it, and that's what we are trying to do.
Interesting. Okay. And I don't think I've heard it explained like that. If you were trying to recruit me, you would have gotten me over just a podcast.
Exactly. No need for the box of pizza.
But I think the question now becomes, how do you manage both? Because these two visions seem grand in and of themselves.
Yes.
So how do you manage both?
I learned to delegate. At the beginning, it was hard, but I realized that, look, it's one thing to have the vision. It's another thing to sell the vision to other people. And looking back at my experience, that's what everybody that I've worked with, from Wumi to Heritage to Shola, even down to Patricia. When I worked at Patricia, like the founders or the owners or my team leads or bosses sold the vision of the entity to me. Yeah. So, and that's my job. I need to sell the same vision to people that can help me build out and run with the vision.
So speaking about these people, if I may ask, how do you now select the right kind of people? How do you know? I mean, yes, you want to delegate, but you don't want to delegate to somebody who will run it down.
Yes.
So what do you look out for when you are? I'm not talking about just employees. I mean people that you're looking out to be leaders.
Yeah. I try to look out for how well am I able to connect to the person.
Okay.
Because I also look at myself like, if I'm trying to recruit, in as much as I'm interviewing them, they're also interviewing me.
Yeah.
So we need to literally be on the same wavelength. Even me, as when I was an employee, everywhere I had worked, it was literally, I needed to connect to who was telling me about the entity, who was telling me about the vision, whether it is, the CEO, for example, Heritage was Ifeanyi Sekibo. Ifeanyi Sekibo sold the dream to every one of us. Like, there was nothing you could tell me. We were talking to tell me at that time, like, Heritage was the best thing since sliced bread I had up there. So it's how well am I able to sell the vision to this person and how well is the person able to connect.
Okay.
If the person connects to the vision and he literally runs with it, and it looks like on the spot, because it literally happens on the spot. Fun fact, my interview with Patricia was meant to be 30 minutes. It ended up being 3 hours.
Okay.
It ended up being 3 hours, and that's literally how I got the job.
Okay.
So those are kind of things that I look out for. Like, okay, how well can I connect to this person? Even if it's 10 minutes we have, even if it's 20 minutes we have, even if it's 30 minutes we have, if it's 3 hours we have, how well am I able to connect with this person? And this person, I know that, if I am not micromanaging this person, this person will deliver on what he's meant to do. I hate micromanaging. I hate to be micromanaged, so I don't try to do it.
Okay, very, very interesting. Okay, so I would go back just a little. Okay, not a little, a lot. So you mentioned that you attended Bill's University and we did our due diligence stalking. So you also attended Corona Secondary School. I'm pretty sure there are a number of people that feel like, if I didn't go to an Ivy League university or if I didn't study abroad, I can't do a Squareme or a Numero, So just give us insight on what exactly in your background, probably family or whatever that, and even your training in these institutions brought you to where you are right now.
Let's see. How will I say this? Where will I start from? My father was a humble business owner. He used to do clearing and forwarding. My mother was an ex-banker.
Okay.
Something
it always connects.
But apart from the knowledge that they passed on to me, they haven't, or they did not, or they were not so much involved in my career projection.
Okay.
Everything that I have done within, my father says this all the time. Like, I remember when I got my first job out of uni. People ask him like, how did you do? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's him that you asked. He said he just got word that he has a job he's going to. And I said, okay. Safe journey. God be with you.
I love it.
So, and also because I'm very, very, very independent. My parents raised me to be quite independent. So, so for me, from the get-go, I have always wanted to be better than where I was coming from.
Okay.
My parents, shout out to them. They went through everything that they could to ensure that I got the best types of education. Like, I went to Corona. Corona is literally on the list of Ivy League high schools and
it still is?
It still is on the list of Ivy League high schools in the country. Yeah.
It's disputable, but okay.
Corona. So yes, I went to Corona, and I went to Bells. I was second set. So Bells wasn't an Ivy League school when I went to
You
Bells.
have been a pioneer.
My admission set was the second set that was admitted into Bells.
You guys were the experiment.
Exactly. We were the experiment. But yeah, so that's why I've always wanted to be better.
Okay.
I've always looked at, okay, how can I be better? I'm not trying to be a social climber, but I've realized that in this life is give and take. You just can't keep on taking. You have to keep. So you want to excel, you want to move, you want to climb up the ladder, you want to have a career like mine. Aside from just having the passion, you need to be able to say, okay, what can I do? What can I give back? Everywhere I have worked, I have given my all.
We've seen how your background really helped, channel your energies and your focus towards banking, even with your mom.
I never wanted to be a banker.
You did,
I didn't like
because I noticed you could have learned banking and finance, but you chose computer science.
So I'm noticing a pattern in your story, and it's pretty much you just went for what you love.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you tried new things and you fell in love. And you just continued.
And
so,
that's why I'm if you want to, I believe if you want to succeed, irrespective of what you're doing, just love it. If you love to sell, you will sell ice on Eskimo. If you love to, if you love to do Formula 9, please don't do
but some folks would say that passion is not enough because, tell us how you were able to raise funding for your projects, for Numero, for Squareme, because I know passion alone is not enough. So
for Numero is not. We've not yet raised funds.
It's not possible now.
We've bootstrapped from inception. I've used all my savings on Numero.
Wow.
I've used all my savings on Numero. For Squareme, I was fortunate enough to get a partner who has funded Squareme to date. But I tell people anybody I make from Squareme is going into Numero. And I have staff to pay. So I don't really have money like that.
So that's curious because the typical entrepreneur in Nigeria looking to start a business as big as a fintech or a financial application would look to funding first of all. But it doesn't seem that was your.
They will pitch till they have money in the bank.
So I learned something from YC. Okay. YC says just launch. That's what this. So if you do the YC startup school, one of the big things that they tell you is just launch. Fun fact: a lot of people don't know about Numero is Numero started from Excel sheets, Google Sheets. Our first set of customers, literally, what we did was we shared with them a Google Sheets. Okay, when money comes in, we give you a static virtual account number. When money comes into the account, we will update it on the Google Sheets. And that's sometimes they want to move money, they send us an email that, we want to move money to so person. I'll be on 3rd Million Bridge and I'll have to pack because somebody wants to move money. And I will pack and I'll move the money and I'll do the transfer for the person.
Give us context. What year was this?
So the first time, when we first started Numero was in 2019. That was when we tried to play. This was before business banking startups became really became a thing. So that's when we started it. And I reached out to a few friends of mine that, you're having issues with your bank, Abby? Say yes. They're charging us exorbitant fees, Okay, I can do this for you. I will give you an account number that you give to your people to be sending money. When you want to move money out, I will charge you a flat fee of 30 naira. I charge you a flat fee of 30 naira. At least I have. Okay, makes sense. And that's how we started. In our first year, we did almost about 50 million. We processed about 50 million customer deposits.
No, customer deposit, not profit.
Not profit. Customer deposits. Last year, we did roughly about 400 and...
now you can look
451 million in customer deposits last year. But guess what? In between 2019 and 2023, we had to shut down Numero.
Okay, that's now interesting.
We had to shut down Numero.
Okay.
Shut down Numero.
Government policies.
Yeah, so there was a government policy that came out that affected Numero. So we shut it down. In fact, at that point, I probably had said, you know what, I don't think I want to do this again.
Okay.
because I was just popping the money.
Yes.
But what I have realized about me is I don't like to take no for that. So we found ways, myself and my other co-founders, we also found ways like, you know what, let's just try to keep this dream alive. And I know there was a point even where my co-founders too
Got tired.
So if you're trying to start something, if you have people, you need to have people in your back, in your corner. So when my co-founders are tired, I'm the
You're
one with
not
the
tired.
energy.
Yes.
When I am tired, they are the ones with
have
the
the
energy.
energy,
So we
okay.
sort of bounce. And
It's a good
Yeah.
relationship.
yeah, it's a good relationship.
Absolutely.
We fight.
Oh, necessary.
We do fight. There are times where we've argued so loudly that I end up with a headache and I go and sleep.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, we do have those fights. But yeah, so that's what it has been.
How did you feel when you realized that there was nothing you could do and you had to shut down something that you were putting your money into?
How did I feel?
Not just money, blood, sweat, and tears.
How did I feel? Honestly, I don't say I felt a kind of way. I just knew that I was going to come back. I was like, okay, this is time to, go back, restart, strategize, look at what you can do differently so that regulation is not going to come after you
Okay.
tomorrow, and just ensure that, look, you have everything. In as much as you are trying to be compliant with regulation, you also need to have backups. So just take your time and figure it out. So which is what we did. So I would say I felt a kind of way. But even at that, like shutting down your business is not, it won't,
Prettiest of things.
it's not the easiest of things, but it's also not a big deal.
How do you mean? For some people, it is a big deal because
Yeah.
they connect their, not just their livelihood, but their identity
Yes.
to what they do.
The reason I say it's not a big deal is when there's life, there's hope.
Okay.
It's best to, if you see like, look, this business is not going forward, instead of just keep sinking money into it and just sinking money, there's no end in sight, just shut it down. It would save us a lot of the stories we hear about fintechs raising millions of dollars and shutting down after. If you know in your heart of hearts that this business has a lifespan of 3 years, then when you hit that mark, let it go. In my heart of hearts, like when I talk about it, when it gets to the point where it looks like, look, Numero is not Numero anymore. If anybody should come and say, look,
They want to buy.
I would,
You can have it.
they can have it. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's all about the impact you've been able to make within the short period of time. Like, I mean, one of my friends whose business was starting out when we launched Numero is doing what? He's doing about 2-3 billion on a monthly basis right now with his own business. So he has outgrown us. But when he's telling his complete story, he'll talk about us.
Yeah.
Because when banks wanted to cut their head with exorbitant fees or stuff like that, we gave them that solution that provided them that lifeline and stuff like that. So yeah. So
I'm gaining an insight into the kind of person you are. So this next question would, kind of like test that insight and see if there's something there, if I'm right. So you worked with Patricia for a while.
Yes.
And we all know the story around Patricia, and sort of public infamy that they've had.
Yes.
Right. Did that affect you in any way, having to be associated with Patricia? And that's question number one.
Yeah.
So did you get any personal pushback? But question number two is, what lessons, if any, did you learn from Patricia and their story?
Did Patricia affect me in any way? No, it did not.
Okay.
I mean, we did fantastic things during my time at Patricia, and I'm very happy to talk about it. I mean, we launched the first crypto debit card in Africa. It was so big that CBN had to write FF to shut us down. That's how big it was. Like, we did, we turned the industry on his head. So of course I'm very proud of the work we did at Patricia. Irrespective of what has happened, it happens, it's life. It happened after I had left, so I really can't speak much to anything that happened. But I enjoyed like to the maximum. I enjoyed my time at Patricia. So I'm always happy to talk about what we did at Patricia. Virtual accounts is really, really popular right now. Everybody has a virtual account. We're one of the first people to use virtual accounts in the country. One of the first people to use virtual. We're one of the first people to issue co-branded debit cards in the country. Like we were doing things that people only dreamed about. Before you could issue a co-branded debit card, you needed to either have a microfinance bank license or something like that. We didn't have a license. All we had was, an idea. This is what we want to do. And we kept on looking for banking partners that would work with us to do it. Which is one of the reasons why we set up Numero. Like, I know the amount of doors I went to knock. Say, look, this is what we want to do. And they're like, no, we have this solution that does this. We have a prepaid card. I said, look, we don't want a prepaid card. We want a debit card. We want to issue a debit card on your license. And our customers will be able to do transactions directly from their account with us. So I don't know the number of doors we had to knock before we got an answer. So, Patricia, what did I learn from Patricia? Don't take no for an answer. Like, dream big. Like, don't let your dreams scare you. Like, we wanted to become the biggest and the largest cryptocurrency product out of Nigeria. And we did. At the time when I left Patricia, it was Binance 1, Patricia number 2.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, I really love the uniqueness of Numero and Squareme. They are really, really unique products. What are you doing in terms of marketing them? How are you pushing them out to the public?
So in terms of marketing, the beauty about the two products, because they are two different market segments, requires two different approaches.
Correct.
For Squareme, everything boils around referral marketing. We want to turn referral marketing on its head. We want to also we want users to be excited using the Squareme app. That's what we are doing. So there's something I can talk to. For example, we are introducing gamification, where you earn points, you earn stars as you do transaction. You see where you fall on the leaderboard. So we actually do have like a top 10. On top 10 users on the leaderboard on the Squareme app. So you'd go there, you see if your name is not on the list, top 10, then you need to do more to get to the top 10 on that list. We want a situation where at the end of the year we're able to give something fantastic to the person at the top of the list. For Numero, it's a bit different. We are targeting businesses, right? So we have a different approach for businesses. So we have we just got the person to join us. His job is just to help us onboard as much businesses as we can, tell the Numero story, let people know what we are trying to do. There are a lot of people doing business banking out there, but banking for the financially excluded businesses, that's what we are doing there. So those are the kind of people that we are going after.
I just want to make sure I get this straight, because I'm not hearing any marketing budget. I mean, I hear that you've hired like a B2B, maybe marketer or business manager, but I'm not hearing any marketing ad. Right now, the Nigerian situation for buying Facebook ads is really crazy. Do you have any opinions regarding the marketing landscape and whether there's ROI on ad spend?
So there is ROI on ad spend. We do on Squareme, we do a bit of ad spend. Or shameless plug, if you need to get your virtual card to pay for Facebook ads and stuff like that, you can get it on Squareme.
Interesting.
But there is a bit of ROI. We understand. Again, maybe probably this is because of my background, which has led up to this.
Exactly.
So I understand the need to spend money, and also the need to track how much I spend it and what's bringing back. So there is ROI on marketing. You just need to be able to quantify what the ROI is. So for example, for us last year on Squareme, we did was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. We did there's a tech no-code summit. We did a no-code summit. Yes, last year. It cost us a bit of money to sponsor, to be one of the sponsors. And the area on that was at the end of the year when we were talking about fintechs within the payment ecosystem, Squareme was mentioned. This is for a company that is less than a year to be already be noticed in that space. So it's that. So you need to look at all the different ways in which you are, when you're spending money for ads. So if you're doing Facebook ads, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to are you trying to grow your numbers? Are you trying to just create awareness? If it's awareness, then great. The ROI is how many people know you.
The reach.
If it's you're trying to grow your numbers, it's okay. How many people sign up? How many people do this? How many people do that? So for us at Squareme, we do a bit of both. We try to balance it out. The best way to grow your numbers is through referral marketing for a B2C business. Referral marketing, like let people. Word of mouth marketing is the best way. It's also the cheapest. It also is the cheapest. It will cost you some money, but it's cheaper than going on Facebook and spending $5-10 million at the end of the year. It will give you the awareness. Great. But referral marketing is so, yeah.
Great. Lightning round.
Okay, so the lightning round goes first. You're supposed to answer with one sentence or just answer precisely, depending on how the question comes. So, first question. You are on a deserted island.
Okay.
You have...
Any island in Nigeria.
Oh, there is Stick Island.
Okay.
And you have the option to take just 3 items.
Okay.
What are those 3 items?
Clothes, hopefully.
Are you adding clothes?
No. You have clothes. You have
Okay, the clothes. Yeah, the clothes you're wearing. So I'm going to take just 3 things. I will probably take my phone.
Okay, probably.
Yes, I will probably. I will take my phone. I can't live without my phone.
Okay.
I'll take my phone. I will take a life jacket.
Okay.
I'll take a life jacket, and I'll take either a knife or a cutlass.
No. He plays. Do you play games?
Yes, I do play games.
He said life or cutlass. You don't even say gun.
The way he answered it, he will survive. He will make it off the island. Don't worry.
Okay. Then the second one will be, what one thing are you afraid of?
What one thing am I afraid of? Failure.
Well, so when they shut you down, was that failure on your own part, or rather when they,
when the policies
made
you guys have to
shut down? Well, that was a failure.
Okay.
That was just a stumbling block.
Okay.
It wasn't failure. It was just a stumbling block that I had to find a way around.
Okay,
so what would failure look like?
Yes, have you ever experienced a similitude?
Oh yes, I have. First time I really experienced failure, I probably fell into depression for about 5 months.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the last one is, if you are president for 24 hours.
Yes.
What one thing would you change?
It's not that policy that made it.
If I'm president for 24 hours, what's that one thing I would change? Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm thinking about it.
Or do. Maybe not change, but do that they are not doing. What would you do? Or,
I mean, you really can't say until you get to that seat. But probably what I probably would do, this might sound a bit selfish, is I probably would just
don't keep people.
I won't kill anybody. But I probably would just give executive order to issue myself a license.
Issue
myself a license.
A license to...
Yes, a banking license or a CBN license. Yes.
Somebody please reach out to him and help him with license.
Help his life.
I mean, because a lot of things happen. Like once you have a license, you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. You can approach a lot of people. Wow. People tend to listen to you.
So are you referring to a microfinance banking license?
Oh, if you give me a license, I'll play with it. If you give me a license, I'll play with it. I don't have preference. If you give me a mobile money license, microfinance, PTSP, PSSP, you name it.
Yeah.
There's something that I will probably be able to whip out of that license.
Love
yes.
it.
So please, let's reshare this clip wide enough
Exactly.
till it gets to
Please,
Mr. Kadaso's.
anybody that has license, and they're not using, give me a ring.
Seun,
Alright.
thank you so much for giving us your time,
Thank
your
you.
wisdom,
That
your
was fun.
insights on the ideas on Fire Podcast. Before we let you go, we want to know how our audience can reach out to you, connect with you, learn from you. We've already heard about the food blog. We're going to put the link on the show note. But any other way that we can connect with you online?
Like I said, I'm right now I'm in the phase where I am opening up to the public. So
Okay.
you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You have Oluwaseun Odusanya on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You also can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Don't follow me on Snapchat. As Mr. Seun O.
Mr. Seun O.
Yes.
Okay.
MRSEUNO.
Yes.
So yeah, or even shoot me an email. Send me a message. If you're sending me a message, please, like, if you want to ask a question,
Go to
just
the point.
ask the question in total. If you want to hit on me, ask it in total.
It's also allowed.
But yeah, aside from that, yeah, I think that's about it. Then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I might actually open up slots, like calendar slots for people that want advice and mentorship within the fintech space. I've spoken to a couple of people and I've realized that I think I need to start
There's
doing
a need,
this.
yeah.
Yes. So
we're going to look out for that. Once the episode drops, we're going to check if that's available. And I'm sure listeners of Idea on Fire Podcast are going to get first dibs. So
Absolutely.
stay tuned for that. And Mr. Seun, is there any, because we really want our listeners to also jump on the Squareme app. We think it's a really innovative solution.
Yeah.
So maybe a
even
promo
Numero.
code or maybe a referral link that we can put up on.
So we would. I would share the promo code, but you would have a promo code. Please sign up on the Squareme app. You can find it on the App Stores, Google App Store, Apple App Store.
Yeah.
And if you do not have a smartphone, or if you have a smartphone, but there's no space on your smartphone, we also have a mobile web version for you to be able to use to access and experience Squareme as much as you can. So do that. The promo code will be shown.
It's going to be on the show notes.
It's going to be on the so that for you to be able to take advantage of it. And by the time this is airing, I think we would have launched our Refer and Earn campaign.
Okay.
So if you sign up, you can take advantage of that. Depending on when you sign up, you'll be able to get either 5,000 or up to 5,000 or 1.5 within our Refer and Earn campaign program. So be on the lookout for that.
Great. Mr. Seun, thank you so much once again
So much.
for spending time with us.
Thank you.
It was
And
a great conversation.
we'll see you on the other side.